Spoilers, Captain America, the Winter Soldier, let's do this. Let's just start with the beginning of the movie. I liked how they handled the friendship between Falcon and Captain America in this movie, how it grew. Like, you start with a funny sequence at the beginning, but I really liked the serious moments where he actually visits him at the vet, because they're both war veterans and they can understand and, you know, relate to each other in that way, and I liked how they bonded through that. And I really liked how at the beginning of the movie, Captain America is working with S.H.I.E.L.D., but he is really clashing with them. He really doesn't like the way Nick Fury handles his operations. And I just loved seeing that, how they have different ideologies, completely different. And I was siding with Captain America, of course, because, you know, he's Captain America. And, you know, that was before they uncovered the conspiracies in the movie. And, you know, let's just jump right into that. The conspiracies in this movie, let's go with it. Hydra, I did not expect to have such a giant presence in this movie. Like, revealing that Hydra has been in S.H.I.E.L.D. ever since it started was just mind-blowing. The whole Marvel Universe is now affected by this because that was supposed to be the secret organization that kept things safe, not had Hydra in them. That was really something I wasn't expecting in the movie, and I'm glad that they actually did that because it was really cool, and now you have so much set up in the future. And you even think back to certain things, like think back to Iron Man 2. That Senator Stern guy wanted the Iron Man armor, and you turn out that he's in Hydra now. It just makes you realize that's why he wanted the armor so much, because he wants it for Hydra. And they had Tony Stark's dad killed, so it makes more sense that he doesn't trust those people. So much involved in that. And I honestly thought Alexander Pierce was going to be Red Skull. I kept telling my friend before the movie, I bet you, at some point in the movie, he's just gonna rip his face off. He's gonna be Red Skull. And I was really surprised that he wasn't. Even, like, at the end when he was laying on the ground, I was like, oh yeah, just rip the face off, walk away. And that wasn't gonna happen, but, you know, I still thought he'd be Red Skull. I guess they're just waiting to bring him back in the third movie, and let's talk about the Winter Soldier as a character, because I love the Winter Soldier in the comics. He's just this silent assassin that gets his job done, and that was it. Well, that's how he originally was, and they nailed that aspect in this movie, because every time he came on screen, you just knew something was gonna happen, something big, and anyone who got in his way got wrecked, and it was so cool. I loved him as a villain. And the way they adapted it from the comics, they made it more like the Hydra people were messing with his mind instead of the Russians, and that was okay, because with the Hydra aspect, it makes sense. I wish they explored it a little more, how he started remembering things, but then they kept wiping his mind like they did in the comics. But they have a runtime they have to fill, and they have other things in the movie, so I understood that. I still really enjoyed seeing him, like, try and struggle with it, not remembering who Captain America is and trying to finish his mission at the end of the movie. And speaking of which, that final fight sequence was just so awesome. Like, having all those three ships there just targeting everyone everywhere, and having to go through all three of them and put those chips in there, and then having Bucky fight Cap, it was so intense. And of course I liked how at the end Bucky saved him, and now he's just off on his own trying to figure out who he is. I really can't wait to see that explored in Captain America 3. Let's talk about some Easter eggs in there, because you had a lot in this movie, and some of them that you could miss if you just blinked, really. At the end, when those ships were targeting places all over the map, they were targeting the President, they targeted Avengers Tower and Tony Stark. They were just cool things like that. And Dr. Zola in that one scene underground in the old computers, that was a cool scene. They left Crossbones alive for the next movie, and if you don't know who Crossbones is, because he wasn't really referenced as that in the movie, he was the guy in the building at the end who got, like, most of his body burned, but he was still alive. I hope they bring him back for Captain America 3 as well. They referenced Doctor Strange, and I don't know much about Doctor Strange, but just having his name drop in the movie makes it feel like we're gonna get a Doctor Strange movie coming soon. Probably in Phase 3 before Avengers 3. And one thing I really loved about this movie was how it really affected the movies going forward. Like, Iron Man 3 was a self-contained story for the most part. Thor: The Dark World, it had some things that were setting up for future movies, but those are more for Phase 3 and the cosmic aspect, you know, with Thanos and everything. This movie really sets up for Age of Ultron directly, because now S.H.I.E.L.D. is gone, there's no S.H.I.E.L.D., you're just gonna have the Avengers fighting Ultron and Baron von Strucker, who you see in the end credits holding the twins. The world now has to rely on the Avengers solely. There's no S.H.I.E.L.D., and that's an aspect I can't wait to see explored in the next movie. Oh, and going back, I really did like that scene with Peggy Carter at the beginning and having her have Alzheimer's. That was just a sad scene, really, but I'm glad they included it because it was nice to see those two together for one more time. and they included Sharon Carter. They didn't say Sharon Carter in the movie, but it's Sharon Carter, Peggy's niece. And she should play a bigger role in Captain America 3 as well. She, in the comics, is Captain America's on and off girlfriend, so that aspect I would like to see explored as well. There's a lot I want to see in Captain America 3, and I hope we get to see all of it. So anything you want to talk about with Captain America the Winter Soldier, spoilers and all, put them below. Come comment, tell me what you thought, and write your beautiful comments down there. Tell me what you think, and if you like this video, hit that subscribe button down there, because if you don't, I'll punch your shield with my metal arm. This isn't metal, but I can get one, I promise.